Yo, we might be some of the biggest scumbags in Europe. We might be some of the biggest scumbags in Europe. And it's one of those evenings, you know, when you just think, yo, Tuesday evening, Champions League night, I'm playing Bodo Glimt. I should be able to relax. But Tottenham Hotspur will always remind you, you are never, ever safe with us, brother. And Bodo Glimt, I'm sorry, fair play to you, completely dominated and outplayed today by a team that we beat twice last season, by the way. Like, do you understand? I can't fathom how we have somehow scummed a point today. Honestly, I'm flabbergasted how they've thrown that away. And it seemed like throughout the game, they were determined to let us walk away with something today. From skying rocket penalties, I think right before the half, they put one into the other stand as well. There was just so many times, immediately when they scored, they're letting us score again. I just couldn't fathom it today, bro. But we need to talk about Tottenham Hotspur. Bodo Glimt, go and see the Bodo Glimt fans for their reaction, because I'm sure they will even be disappointed with today's result. But even as a Tottenham fan, I don't think anybody can walk away here and talk about, great fight back from the boys. And, we showed great spirit and team determination to snatch a 2-2 draw. And nah. We need to talk today. We actually need to talk today, because for me, this game reminded me of Zagreb. This game reminded me of NS Mora. This game reminded me of Genk Europa League. For some of you, when you just hear those names, I know you get PTSD flashbacks. You know the feeling where all our players just look square. We look static, immobile, can't control a ball, can't string 4 passes together, defensively uncohesive. Just a mistake waiting to happen. Some random European guy is going to ball out and have the game of his life. And Orsic. We all remember the names. We all remember the guys. This is what tonight felt like. And listen, this isn't going to be a video of me sitting here begging for Ange to come back and the Ange apologist and the Ange, people who still have Ange as their Avi. This isn't a competition here. I'm not trying to do Thomas Frank versus Ange. I'm not trying to do none of that. But we need to talk about how we've been playing over the last couple games. I didn't even do a reaction to the Wolves game the other day, because it was pretty much a copy and paste from what we saw at Brighton, where we just look lethargic, we look slow. And from when the lineup came out today, I immediately knew what it was going to be. I tweeted out before the game. I said, today, we're going to create via imagination. That's how we're going to create chances today. Because I look at that midfield, I look at the wingers, I look at the forwards, I'm seeing the makeup of this team, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know where we think we're going to dominate Bodo Glimt from today, because I can't see it happening. And listen, there should be no excuse. A team like Bodo Glimt, no disrespect to them, but we should be going there and making it comfortable, even with a couple of rotated players. There should be no excuse. And I think that the same thing in this game that has bugged me for the last couple of games that we've seen, the Wolves game, the Brighton game, the Bournemouth game, it's that midfield. It's that midfield, brother. And today, we saw no attacking midfielder being played in this midfield. We saw 2 8s in Bergvall and Sarr, and we had Bentancur in the middle. And absolutely nothing. Not able to make a ball stick. Not able to move the ball from defence to attack. It was just poor. And I feel like over the last couple of games, we've almost been lumped with this forcible option of Palhinha and Bentancur. And we're going to have these 2 screeners in front of the back 4. And they can't really create and dictate tempo from deep. And I'm sorry, Thomas, if you want this team to be a little bit more fluid, you're going to have to rely on more than just Pedro Porro and Romero, long balls and crosses, and inshallah. Because that's what it seemed like. It was like, get the ball to Porro out wide. Porro, please, play us one of your little spinny crosses to the back post and someone get on the end of that. We had no idea on how to actually control the game. We couldn't string 2 passes together, let alone 3 or 4. And the way Bodo just sniffed it out. We've all felt it in these previous European games that I was talking about with the Zagrebs, the Moras. Those teams, they sniff out that Spurs look nervous today. Spurs are playing anxious. They're playing tight. And they just sniff us like bloodhounds and they're on us. And Jean-Peter Haug today, having the game of his life. Bro, the guy is a failed wonder kid. Guy couldn't make the grade at AC Milan. Dished out on loan to random Serie A clubs. Comes back to Bodo Glimt and now they're treating him like the hometown hero. Because he hooped out against Spurs in the Champions League. This is their first ever Champions League goal as well. They're going to be replaying that in the club's museum shop, I'm telling you. But we've seen it so many times again. And I feel like Thomas Frank, when he had that Bournemouth, when he first lost that Bournemouth game, I remember him saying, we're going to learn from it and we're going to bounce back. And the next game, West Ham, we won it 3-0 comfortably. But don't be fooled. That game was only comfortable because of that red card in the second half. After that, we played Brighton. We were awful in that game. Some way, somehow, we turned it around in the second half. And then you come to Wolves. Doncaster, of course, that was a given that we were going to win that. I was even annoyed that we weren't more comfortable in that. But even the first game in the Champions League, Villarreal, we won that 1-0, of course. And the clean sheet records, were loving it. We were loving it in the first 4 games or whatever. But outside of the Burnley game, in the opening game of the season, this team hasn't really convinced with any of their performances. Man City away was good. I don't think anybody expected that. But since that Bournemouth game, none of them performances really for me have been convincing. And this was another one of them where I'm looking at it, I'm like, Frank, you need to sort that midfield out. We can never go into a game again now without Xavi, without a Kudus, without Madison Kulusevski. With them out, those two are a must to play. There can never be a game where they're missing. Because otherwise, you just look flat. Every time we got on the ball, no options as well. Because let me speak on the forward line now and the attackers. Because Richarlison, I know you try to scum your way in that, the equaliser there. That was an on goal. I appreciate you being in that position. Thank you very much. But I struggle to understand what this guy actually brings to the team. Okay, granted, he scored in the first game, Burnley, 2 goals. That was very nice. Got the assist at Man City, cool. But outside of that, he has dropped a stinker in pretty much every game since. And this is what I said after the Burnley game. You could go check the match reaction. I said, it's lovely that you scored today, but can I have some consistency? I don't just want a purple patch. Can I see the real version of you? But this is the real version I knew it was and I expected. And as much as we can think he's got a new lease of life, we will always get the same old Richarlison. The ball doesn't stick when it goes up to him. He can't hold the play up for attackers and midfielders to join him. He's not quick enough to run in behind and actually be a threat. His shooting is just, I don't even know what you can call it. But for me, I struggle to understand what the strengths of his game are. And it annoys me even more that Solanke and Kolomwani are out injured, because I'm like, what the hell are the options? Where are they? Where's the backup? Matthias Tell, he's been given 2 opportunities. He weren't even included in the team sheet today. But I'm looking at that and I'm like, this is going to be a problem for us throughout the season, I feel like. 100%, I'm telling you lot now, 6 games into the season, whatever, this number 9 position is going to be a problem for us this season. Because we've got Richarlison, we've got Kolomwani, we've got Solanke, and we've got Tell. Can any of you, hand on heart, confidently tell me you think they'll get over 15 league goals this season? Because I can't. I don't see it. And I'm like, so now we've got all these guys who are clearly going to be battling it out. Richarlison, you've got to run now. Take these opportunities. And these are the types of performances I'm getting. Against Bodo Glimt, brother, this should be a 2-bag minimum. This is a get the numbers up. This is a stat pad filler. So for me, it's like that. The midfield, he's going to need to address that. That has to have a 10 in it. I'm sorry. We can have 2 8s or whatever. Bergvall and Sarr as deeper midfielders if you like. Or Palhinha next to them. But for me, I do not want to see Palhinha and Bentancur as a double pivot. And I do not want to see a team with no 10s. That just doesn't make sense. You set the team up to fail when you do that, Frank. And then Richarlison, brother, Kolomwani, please get fit ASAP. Matthias Tell, please pull your finger out, brother. Solanke, I need you to come back firing on all cylinders, brother. Somebody step up in that position, please. Somebody. Because even when you look at the wingers, you look at Odegaard today. Odegaard, unlucky not to get the one that hit on the crossbar at the end, but wasn't convincing for me today. Brennan Johnson, it seems like he's back to almost the lack of confidence Brennan Johnson that we saw at spells during the season before. And it seems like all the good work that he did last year seems kind of undone. Like, this was the type of game where I'm feeling like he should be trying to make a statement to get back in the starting lineup. And instead, it just looked slow. It looked lethargic. It looked like he didn't even want to be out there at times, bro. And I'm like, fam, if this is what the rotational guys are going to do, these are the types of results you're going to get. These are the types of performances you're going to get. Like, you can't get away with that. I'm sorry. Richarlison, Odegaard, and Johnson. Come on, man. When you went out with that attack, you were setting yourself up for failure, in my opinion. I understand rotation and everything, but I don't know why we're resting people in the second game of the Champions League group stage. Some of these guys haven't even had full pre-seasons. You need to be getting your fitness up. I want to see regular starting week in, week out. Especially in these early couple of weeks. Establish form. Establish consistency. Establish your quality. That way there's a standard set. And when these guys come in, the Brennan Johnsons or the Odegaards, they know there's a level they have to keep up to. But when I see Kudus and Xavi, who have just started to hit the ground, they're being arrested. For what? For what? You're telling me now the professionals can't play 2 games a week? What the hell are we signing these guys for big money for then? This is the whole point. You play your best players, in my opinion, especially in the Champions League. And this was just one of those, I hope Frank learns from it. But I don't want to be sitting here talking about how many of these moments we need to learn from. And I don't even want to over-exaggerate and act like this is, we're still 4th in the table, don't get it twisted. We've won 1, we've drawn 1 in the Champions League. But these are things we need to keep an eye on. These are things that we need to be looking at and saying, okay, points are on the board, things are ticking along, but we could be doing better. We could be controlling games more. We could be winning more convincingly. We could be looking more fluid. And that's not too much to ask for. I'm not sitting here saying, okay, now we need to be swashbuckle FC and all guns blazing attacking. No, but there's a balance to everything. There are some games I don't mind being on the back foot and 20% possession and, playing on the counter. But not against a team that I've beaten twice already last season. Not a team that I actually think we have a better squad than, even if we rotated some players. There's no excuses for that, man. There's no excuses for this type of performance, in my opinion. And listen, we'll see now, because let me have a look at the next couple of fixtures coming up as well. We got Leeds coming up on the weekend, 12:30 kickoff. Can we let that be a convincing win? Or should we play on the counter and play Palhinha and Bentancur as a double pivot? We don't need that. These next couple games I'm looking at, I'm like, I want to see us be a little bit more convincing. I want to see us a little bit more on the front foot. I want to see quality from our attackers. I want to see control from our midfield. Leeds United, Aston Villa at home, Monaco away, Everton away, Newcastle away. Couple of tough away trips in there. But show me something. Don't just show me late character fightbacks in the second half. Show me from minute 1. Too many times now over the last couple of weeks, it's just been, we're kind of playing with almost as if we've got cobwebs on. Cobwebs from what? We're still early in the season. I hope Frank starts to kind of like understand this team a little bit better and starts to understand his personnel better and not be so, I don't know. I feel like sometimes because he was a Brentford manager and because he was always so used to being the little guy, you're so often having to play 2 defensive mids, 3 defensive mids sometimes. Janelt, Norgard, whoever it is. You're playing 3 guys, Jensen, 3 guys who will just sit there, mop up, boom, workers. You don't always need to be doing that over here, bro. This is a little bit of a step up from Brentford. You need to be, some games, you need to be on the front foot and control it. You need to be the guy that's saying, you know what? Sorry, B team guys, this ain't a game for you lot to get your minutes and your reps up. Hey? Xavi, go and get your first goal today. Hey, Kudus, go and get a brace today. Hey, Richie, you got 2 games before Kolo Muani's back. And then you're gone out of the team for 3 games. That's the type of game it needed to be today. But I hope I see that against Leeds now. I hope so. But listen, let me know your thoughts anyway on this game because Hey man, it wasn't a pretty sight to see, but let me know your thoughts. Like the video if you've made it this far. I do have some interesting videos coming up over the next couple days as well, so make sure you're subscribed, turn your notifications on. They will be dropping very shortly. I will catch you guys on the next one. Till next time, people, take care.